Welcome back, everyone. Youngzers episode 6. I don't know why hearts just came across the screen, but okay. Anyway, thank you for tuning in. Steelers just played the Detroit Lions, final preseason game. That's what's coming up. A little bit on the Pirates, and then usual segments at the end. Before we start things off, I want to just add one more thing. We have, of course, we announced last week our fantasy football league. 10 members, right?
Yeah.
10 spots in our league. 8 of them are filled. We need 2 more. No buy-in, but the thing is, it's a punishment league. So we're thinking of something up. The wheels are turning. We have a lot of hands in the pot, a lot of suggestions so far. So it's once you're in, there's no backing out. It's the classic thing, no way in, no way out once you click the join button. So once you're in, you're in. 2 more people, so just hit us up whenever, and let us know, because I think the draft is – when's the draft, Andrew?
Next Tuesday.
No, it's
Monday.
Monday?
Yeah, Monday.
Okay.
Monday?
Are we sure? I thought it was Saturday.
Is this? Oh, we'll have to look.
Saturday night.
Okay, Saturday night. All right.
So we're still ironing out the details, but
Yeah.
us 4 are in it. We got 4 others, and then that's about it. So what's going on, boys? We got Andrew, Dan, and Roberts back on the chat. So what's going on?
I just want to acknowledge the mustache in the room right now, and quite frankly, it's spectacular.
It's electric, folks. The wife told me yesterday that I needed to trim it because it's going into my mouth, and I was like, no, I need to get some wax. Let me wax it out, And I'm just trying things out here. This is this week, It might be something next week, But I got a lot of great reviews on it. Jimmy Dunn, he always liked my mustache, so I figured I'd send it to him. He loved it. He said it was electric. He sent me the SpongeBob meme. He was wearing a mustache, so I'm getting grave reviews about it.
Love that.
We are starting the recording a little late today, and I'm pretty sure it's because Dan was tying a woman to the railroad tracks about half an hour ago with that mustache.
That or at a carnival. He's at a carnival curling a 50-pound barbell, too. If you can get it to curl to the point where it attaches to your eyebrows up here, that should be like the next move.
That's a look there. I can't get it to stay there. Right?
Roberts, what's new over there? I see the new Pitt merch, the flag behind you.
Back home, boys. Back in the 412.
Attaboy. Love it.
It's old
Bringing
school
back
there.
some memories of Rob Rutherford with that logo.
Yeah.
I like it.
Little Dave one stash, huh? One stash.
Oh yeah, there we go.
All right, so you guys just want to roll right into it. Steelers Lions.
Yep.
Game literally just ended probably about, let me check, like 8 minutes ago. Final score, Steelers 19, Detroit 9. So what are we seeing? I think we're going to go right back into the way we've been going. Quarterback battle. We saw Mitch Trubisky in there for the first half. Kenny Pickett got about maybe a quarter and a half?
Yeah.
And then I think did Mason Rudolph only get like one
He
series?
started with like 6.5 minutes.
Yeah, so not a lot from him, but I liked what we saw from Mitch. The line really didn't help him out too much. I didn't think he got a fair shake there. But he looked pretty solid. He looked solid. Kenny did his usual stuff, too. He was solid. Andrew, what do you think?
Yeah, Trubisky and Pickett both look good. So I think Mitch Trubisky definitely week 1 starter, but Kenny Pickett, he impressed this preseason. He was poised. Made plays with his feet when he needed to. He was throwing dimes, no interceptions, I believe, this preseason. So a great showing from both of them. Mason Rudolph, clearly the distant third. And with a couple injuries, Tyrod Taylor went down today for New York. Sam Darnold in Carolina might open up a couple more places for Mason Rudolph to get traded to if they decide to explore that route. Seattle's always an option. Drew Lock's just a dumpster fire. If you're getting beat out by Geno Smith in 2022 to win the starting job, you're in some trouble. Yeah, you give it up.
Dan, what do you got on the QBs?
QBs looked all right. Not much you can do. We'll get into more of the O-line. But for what it was, and then also like you could see Matt Canada's offense being implemented more through Mitch and Kenny. Mitch had that little bootleg come out and threw a nice pass. And then the jet sweeps too. With Matt Canada's offense, I think you're going to see it more implemented. It's going to be a better game plan. You got your mobile quarterbacks, but other than that, once we get into the O-line, I can start tearing into them. But for what it was, I think the quarterbacks did very well today.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Roberts?
Like usual, business as usual. I think Mitch really did perform well today.
Yeah.
Not really with his feet though, with his arm today, which I was more impressed with. And then Kenny came in third quarter, started off. I think it says here 9 of 12, 95 yards, which isn't terrible. Business as usual. And then Mason, you really didn't see because at the end of the game there, I watched the last drive before hopping on here. They ran the ball 3 times and punted, so it's
Yeah, it is what it is.
It is what it is. You know what
Like
I mean?
you said, I think Mitch and Kenny were polar opposites. Like you said,
Yeah.
Kenny impressed me more with his legs than Mitch did too. But Mitch did have that done. Was it to Deontay on the sideline?
Yeah.
Or who was?
Yeah.
That was a beautiful pass. But I think honestly, it's exciting just to see a QB battle in the preseason. Like this is the most excited I think I've been for Steelers preseason football, and as long as I can remember. It's just refreshing to have like a quarterback battle you can look to each week and like react to and talk about. It's just something new. So that's something I was excited about. What about you guys?
I don't know. It's something different from 18 years of the same old that we knew, but there's a lot of uncertainty when it comes to quarterback battles and such. When you go out and you get a guy and then you go draft a guy, you hope one of them will pan out, and it looks like both of them are going to. One's for the present, one's for the future, which is fine. Kenny might be sooner rather than later, but there was a lot of uncertainty. I guess it was exciting, but there was always that time where you kind of wanted to hold your breath because you're like, what if they stink? You know, as a sports fan, you always have that in the back of your mind because you just don't know how they're going to come out and play in a system at a new team, and then with Kenny coming from college to the pros. So it seems like everyone's adjusting well, and Mason Rudolph's just a afterthought at this point.
Yeah.
Yep.
I think barring even any expectation I had, I do think Mason, even all 3 of them, just exceeded all of them. Like Mason didn't play horribly. I just think he didn't get as many reps as the other 3. He would have been solid, I bet, even if he had as many reps as he wouldn't have been as good as Kenny or Mitch, but I think he would have been solid. Not like he wouldn't have been the starter of the future at all. And it would have been a bad year as him as a starter, but I didn't think he did as bad as everyone thought he would. That's what I just have to say.
No. He got a lot of unwarranted hate this preseason because, Pickett's the fan favorite. Trubisky's the guy they brought in as a free agent. Mason didn't hurt himself. They all at the very bare minimum, they managed the game well. Rarely did you see them screw up, but it's, he didn't get enough reps, and he didn't really. The other 2 have way higher ceilings than he does. I mean, you're going to get that with Trubisky and Pickett. And like I said, the writing's been on the wall with him. It's not like he's done anything to harm his job, but the other 2 have just been better. That's what it's come down to. And that's a good problem to have if you're the Steelers.
Yeah. I think his time has come and gone, too. Go ahead, Dan. Sorry.
Like I said last week, he needed to just propel himself above the other 2. And like Andrew said, he didn't hurt himself in any way. If anything, he put together some good tape, and if they go make an offer to somebody, great, but to have that as like your third option, if they keep him around, that's not terrible either. You know what I mean? If he's going to go out there and manage the game like he did in the preseason with the reps he got, that's not a bad option either. I know he's the third option. He's not going to get a helmet on a Sunday unless one of the other 2 get hurt, but that's not a terrible option to have. Because there's a lot of teams out there that don't even have a first option, or a second option.
Yeah, easily. Anything else on the QBs? I think it's clear cut who's going to start, at least for the beginning of the season. So we'll see Trubisky next week. And then probably Kenny. Do you think Kenny does coming in by the end of the year at this point, or they let him sit around?
With the way the offensive line looked today, no. I think you play Mitch. Unless Mitch really screws up and starts losing them games, I don't think he'll be out of the game.
I think Mitch has a 3-game leash. If he loses 3 games bad or 2 out of 3 and he's the cause, let's say 2-3 picks, maybe a lost fumble or something like that, or wasn't managing the game right, then he's going to get yanked, and you'll see Kenny in there sooner than, if not, week 8, 9, possibly. If not, it'll be Mitch the entire season. So
yeah.
Yep.
Do you think they'd pull him, say, if it even wasn't by his own doing, say the line's playing horribly and he's just getting chased and he can't handle the pressure, you think they bring in the more mobile option at all?
No, they're both mobile. Yeah, it's just, I mean, we can get to the line here soon, but the line's just terrible.
Yeah, that's coming. That was, I think, the biggest part. But let's move on, I guess. Running backs. We saw our first look at Najee. He didn't play the first 2 games. I think he was out with what injury? Something. I can't remember.
Was it a
ankle?
Foot.
Ankle, foot in training camp. But he looks solid. He's in rare form. He did his usual hurdles. I'm still waiting for him to get caught on those. No one's caught on yet. I'm waiting for him to get flipped over, under and over the top. But even with the line playing horribly, he got a few runs where he made something out of nothing. So that was good to see. I think we'll see a lot of that this year, as long as the line isn't holding people and taking the play back 15 yards again. But Najee looked great. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I mean, Najee with the line, he's going to have to make chicken salad out of chicken shit at some point this year, because that's what that line is. Yeah, exactly.
I know
that might be stretching it.
But, if you're playing you're 21 and old and you're playing the drinking game of, take a drink every time Dan Moore or Kendrick Green or Kevin Dotson gets beat, you're getting your stomach pumped by halftime. They're just that bad. And I don't know how many times in the first half, Dan Moore, holding Dan Moore, holding Kevin Dotson. Kendrick Green gets called for a hold. Block field goal. Guess who got beat? Kendrick Green. That left side of the line, absolute shambles.
Yeah. I don't think that bodes well for the running game, but I think with a running back like Najee, that'll help because he does have the ability to catch passes too, those short routes. So that'll definitely help too. Dan, what did you see from the running backs?
Najee, midseason form. When you're the best athlete on the field, you're going to make plays happen, kind of like Barry Sanders did when he was in Detroit. I don't want to get too much into it yet because I know we're going to talk about O-line, but that O-line is atrocious. And for Najee to make what he could out of it, that other running back, was it Warren?
Yeah.
He was running hard there late.
Yeah.
Do you think he gets a spot? He gets a spot.
Oh, yeah.
He was running hard. He was looking for contact. And then, Ryan, like you said, Najee was hurdling people. He did get stuck there. He extended the play. I can't remember. It was right before all the holdings happened, or it was during all the holdings. It was it was that drive, and he got stuck, but he got right back up. I mean, he's going to take some poundings, but he's able to get back up. He looks pretty durable, and it's exciting to see him be able to make something out of nothing.
Yeah. Roberts, what did you see?
I mean, looking down here at the stat sheet, they got 20 rushes for 57 yards. That's
not good.
That's not good. At an average of 2.9. That's not, can't be doing that.
Sorry to say, but that's on par with what's been going on this preseason, though. So
yeah,
it's been more pass heavy, but the running game just has looked horrible. But at least we did get to see our starting running back. But other than that, I think the second leading rusher was Gunnar Olszewski, and he just had, I think, 1 carry or 2 carries, maybe a jet sweep play that's designed for guys like Chase Claypool. So
he would have had more. The one got held back for a holding.
Yeah.
We'll
get into that. I'm sorry.
That too, yeah.
He's a lot faster than I thought too. I saw him running. I was like, "Who is that?" And I was like, "That's like a shot out of a cannon." He's quick as hell. But that's all I got on the running backs. Najee looked good. Everyone else, I don't know if it's really their fault at this point. Due to if you have a horrible line, average guys like that aren't going to be able to do anything really. So, Andrew, what do you think about McFarland? I know you've been back and forth him. Do you think he's staying or is he going? Cut.
My guy's getting cut. It's gonna be Najee Harris, Benny Snell, Jalen Warren. I don't see a path for McFarland on the roster. It's not like he's a great special teamer like Benny Snell is. You have those gadget guys like we just said, Gunnar, Claypool. These guys that can do the sweeps. Calvin Austin, who hasn't played this preseason, might go on the IR. Maybe they sneak another receiver like Steven Sims on the roster. But you got all these gadget guys that can fill that role. His day's done. I think he's definitely one of the ones cut from the running back room.
So when do you think he's turning his playbook? Come Monday or what?
I don't know.
He's turning that one in by lunchtime, all right?
How many business days do you think he has?
But
all right, that's all I got on running backs. What about you guys?
I'm just going to make a bold prediction real quick. you think McFarland's getting cut. I think it's going to be even bigger of a shakeup. I think Snell's going to get cut. I think they keep McFarland. Yeah.
Just because
I really do.
hasn't been there as long, or
younger. Benny Snell just hasn't impressed in a few years. You know what I mean? He just strictly plays special teams, and whenever he does get in there, you know, when Najee's busting some decent runs, and then they go give him a blow, Snell's out there, you know, getting stacked up or getting a 1 yard gains. You know, you can't have that. I think that his time is said and gone here.
I think one of the other surprise cuts too could be Derek Watt. You know, not playing the whole preseason, and for his price tag and what he brings. I think he's might be one gone, because they're going to have a couple positions where they're going to have some tough cuts to make. And if you're looking at the roster overall, you'd rather not have Derek Watt on the roster and keep one of those other guys and say the receiver room or a linebacker. You know, there's going to be a lot of influx, and I don't think Derek Watt's spot safe.
And I think you put Connor Hayward on that special teams.
Yeah,
where
exactly.
and then he can also play fullback too. He did it at Michigan State. Yeah, I mean that dude played tight end, halfback, fullback, so he can do it. He's younger, and he'll play special teams too, just to stay on the team.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I'd rather have a jack of all trades than someone one dimensional like Derek Watt. So
just
I think
runs
that's
on there on
decision.
kickoffs.
Yeah, but Dan, I'm gonna have to disagree though. I don't think Benny Snell's going. You can't replace the guy with a spinning mouthpiece. That's the only reason.
Snell, Snell, yeah.
What does he have?
I'll say he's never been the same runner since he got rid of that spinning mouthpiece. I'll say that right now.
I think they made him get rid of it, didn't they?
Really?
Nobody has it in the NFL.
I'm pretty sure. Yeah. I remember watching his thing when he played at Kentucky. I can't remember who they were playing. They were playing Florida or Bama or something, and they had a whole piece on him. And he's like, "Yeah, I wear this so linebackers know when I'm whizzing past them." I'm like, this guy.
If that's the case, shame on the NFL for messing with a man's profession like that, because you connect the dots. He has not been the same runner since that mouthpiece has gotten taken away from him.
That's fair. He was a stud in college.
Yeah.
Exactly. He ran all over Penn State in the bowl game. You know, that's the equivalent. You know, you take Chaz Batch away from us. You take Edmund Nelson off commentary, and now you take Benny Snell's mouthpiece. Uncalled for. Disgusting behavior.
It is. And I think the Steelers might have a hand in this.
Think so?
Yeah, just like they changed the damn name. Youngzers are in an uproar, man.
Back to Heinz Field getting changed. Yep.
Jeez.
It's somehow this all ties into Steely McBeam. I'm calling that right now. I don't trust the look of that guy.
Did they take him away too? Is he still there?
They should. My old man was pissed when they got a mascot. He's like, the Steelers don't need a mascot. They don't got cheerleaders. They don't need a mascot. I'm like, you tell them, Pops.
They don't. It's 100% true. You leave the gimmicks to the Pirates. They can have pierogies run around. They can have pierogies coming out of the bullpen to pitch the 7th, 8th, 9th innings. It don't matter. They might. You do not need a mascot if you're the Pittsburgh Steelers. And to name it Steely McBeam. What marketing genius came up with that?
They don't have the same PR as the Buckeyes, I'll tell you that. No. They would have named it something immaculate.
Roberts, what are your thoughts on Steely McBeam, though? I've never heard of him.
Get rid of that guy. Guy's a loser.
They should have gave him like an Inzer name, too. Like Jack Richardson or something.
I know we're kind of going off the rails, but did you guys see the Ravens mascot blow out his knee at that game yesterday? Yeah.
I thought that was
they do it all the time. No, they do it all the time.
They're playing a youth team at like halftime, like a youth football team. Like it'd be like, yeah. And the mascot got tackled and blew his knee out, and they had to cart him off.
Kid was hitting a gritty on him.
Yeah. Do you get fired after that, or like what happened? You can't get gritty on by a kid.
No, he stayed. If anything, he should be promoted because he stayed in costume the whole time. He was getting carted off and had the full Ravens costume on.
See, I could sit here. There was also the BYU Cougar lost his headdress. That's like a code red in mascot lore. You know what I mean? You can't have that. They can't see your face.
I saw the worst one though that they were talking about, like mascot injuries. I think it was in the playoffs. The Mariners mascot was roller skating around, and he got his roller skate caught in the turf, lost control, compound fracture ankle, slamming into the outfield wall. That's
disgusting.
That's a tough scene. That's a tough scene.
What if you're a child and that's your first game and you see like your, like the friendly like mascot absolutely blows knee out or
just
something? Like, what do
it.
you do? Yeah.
let me ask you this then. If you're playing the mascots, right, and your buddy just blew out the Ravens mascot's ACL or whatever, and then Blooper, the Atlanta Braves mascot, comes on. Did you see him stiff arming people?
Six kids.
He's taking it out on you. You just blew out their quarterback's knee, and now you're just eating turf.
I'm putting that on my huddle, though.
Well, I mean, if you're getting stiff armed by a mascot and then you tackle one and blow their knee out, you have to gritty on them. That's the ultimate sign of revenge right there. You can't not dance on them while they're laying there.
That's the ultimate sign of disrespect.
What do you think?
It is, but it's warranted at that point.
What do you think was going through his head whenever that, like, he was looking through those little Velcro eyes and you see, like, an 8-year-old kid grittying on you. Your knees.
Probably this son of a gun. I'm out for the season.
Get paid enough for this.
What do you tell your doctor? Like, does he know you're the Ravens mascot? Like, how do you explain that? I was playing 8-year-olds in football, and
Nobody knows you're the mascot. That's the thing.
Yeah.
That's what
so how do you?
It's like the Clark Kent of football. Yeah, it's true.
Just wear some glasses.
All right, so I guess
blow your knee out. That's all. Yeah.
So does that put the Ravens down then? Does that mean Steelers 2-0 against the Ravens this year?
No.
Yeah, I'm immediately moving Baltimore to third in the AFC North after the loss of their mascot. Immediately.
Say what you want about Steely McBeam, but he never got graded on. I guess you could say that.
He didn't.
Steely McBeam has 2 ACLs, so Pittsburgh's the early favorite in the AFC North at this point.
Thoughts and prayers to the Ravens mascot, I guess. Anyway, I don't know how we got to that. Moving on from running backs, how about the receivers?
I'm sorry.
No, that was a good time. Receivers, like we said, Deontay, great catch. That's what I saw. Deontay, he looks solid. Yeah. He's back. What do you guys think?
Steven Sims had a touchdown, 6-yard slant. Miles Boykin had a couple nice catches, so he also made his spot. George Pickens absolutely bullied another defender off the line of scrimmage. Certified menace. I love that. And it was status quo for the receivers and tight ends. Business as usual there.
Yeah. Dan, what do you think?
Deontay made a nice catch. Great ball by Mitch. I could tell right when he was getting up something wasn't right. He kind of stayed there for a second. It was shoulder injury, but Tomlin said it was minor. So he's going to be your number one, but then that takes double coverage away from Pickens and Claypool. Gunner looked good running them jet sweeps. He did that up at New England, I'm pretty sure, right? I mean, he looked really good. So and a safe option as well. From the first preseason game, good hands, and then to this one, the third preseason game, very safe option, I would say. So the receiving core, I like it. Young, nasty. And I'm excited for that on the offensive side of the ball.
Yeah. Roberts, what do you think?
I said I agree with Dan, but the only thing I think that affects this wide receiver room is the thing between the 2 ears. I think it's all mental for them sometimes. We saw it last year with Claypool, you know what I mean, doing the antics. Deontay sometimes gets up, does some antics. But if they can keep them in check and they're young enough fast enough, I think they could be special if they have a quarterback throwing the ball as well. But
yeah, I think they realize this offseason too. They don't have, I guess, that quarterback throwing to them anymore. Even though Big Ben wasn't himself last year, I guess you could say. But I think this offseason they probably learned they need to step up more and they got to show more of a leadership quality because they had the leader last year, even though he wasn't the best player on the team. But I think a lot of these guys on the offense are going to step up and try to be that leader. And it's good to see because they all have a different set of skills. There's no two alike. Like Claypool, Deontay, all these guys, they play so different. And like Dan said, we have safe options too that you're not going to see. So they're going to come out of nowhere some games too. Like who knows, Gunner might pop off a game or two whenever Deontay and Chase Claypool aren't having that good of a game. So, I mean, I think it goes to say that too, that a lot of guys are going to try to step up when there's no real established leader yet. Any more thoughts on receivers or anything?
Yeah, one real quick to Ryan's point real quick when he said that all the antics and stuff. I think a lot of it had to do, now I could be wrong, with Juju. because Juju was around when AB was around. AB was a nutcase. Juju is all about me. It's a me brand. You know what I mean? Claypool, you started to see that last year when he got hit into his TikToks and stuff. And I understand that. Go make your money however you can. You have your brand. That's fine. But you're ultimately there to play a sport. You're being paid. That's your job. So you need 100% focus on that. So I think once we see Juju out and no distractions like that, I think the young receiving core that we have, there should be big things coming from them because they're not going to have those distractions. They're not going to be, oh, me first. This is my brand. This is my TikTok. This is my YouTube channel. This is me. It's going to be a team thing first. And I'm glad that we don't have any people like that right now because Pickens is in here, young, guys like that, and maybe Deontay can show him, it's team first. It's not just my brand first. It's the Pittsburgh Steelers brand.
Yeah.
Yeah. If they get back to business like that, I don't think there's many secondaries in the league that can cover them. Because we're not even talking about like you have Connor Hayward, Pat Freiermuth, Zach Gentry. I think is going to be a red zone target this year. There's not many teams that have the talent to match up across the board with the Steelers' weapons. And if they can lock in, I think they're going to be one of the league's best this year.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we haven't even caught like a whiff of any of those like antics that Roberts was talking about. So like, do you think Juju was that kind of catalyst where he was like the oldest receiver in the room and he's kind of like follow the leader and you got guys like Claypool following him? So do you think he was kind of like follow the leader guy? And do you think like even going on this that maybe the older guys, I guess older, like Deontay and Claypool in the room, they see these young guys coming up. Do you think that's lighting a fire under them that, hey, I don't want this guy taking my job and that I'm going to elevate my game to play better? That's what I'm kind of thinking.
Yeah, absolutely. Because when you look, Deontay was negotiating a contract before training camp, before the beginning of this year. He knew, coming in, he was on the last year of his contract, saw what George Pickens can do. That dude's got dog in him, but he wants to take him under his wing. You don't have the antics from Juju there. Like you said, he was the catalyst. In my eyes, I think he was. Now I'm seeing it from the outside perspective, you know what I mean? As just a fan. But when you see that, when Juju wants to, do his TikTok dances on everyone's logo and this and that, you just know it wasn't about the team first. It was always me first. And to get that out of there, Deontay seems like a team first kind of guy. Doesn't seem like a me brand kind of guy first. And when you get them all together and working with the young guys like Pickens, even Freiermuth's young too, you know what I mean? So Deontay needs to be the leader in that wide receiver room. He needs to be the alpha dog, the loudest voice. Yeah, hey, we ain't doing that here. You could do that on your own time. But, when you're in this building, you're in an opposing team's building, it's business. It's not play around, screw around, let's dance. It's not a me brand first business. This is a Steeler brand first business.
Yeah. I think going off of that, if you're going to do all that and dance, it only becomes a problem when you lose. So you better back it up. Like, you can do that as long as you're winning. So it's safer not to do it at all. Because say you're dancing on the Ravens logo, they see that. Like, that's just giving them fuel to just kick your ass the next game. Like, why would you do that? That's like, that's mental game 101 that you don't do that. And plus, once you lose, in today's day and age, especially on the level of the National Football League, they're going to be talking about that all week. Like, you're going to have Skip Bayless, Stephen A. Smith in your ear for about 7 days a week, an hour or two, just talking about one clip of you danced on a logo. So I think that just hurts in general. It doesn't help at all, but it just hurts way more. So that's all I got on that. Anything else from the receivers? Nothing? Roberts?
No, let's get to the dumpster fire of the offensive line here.
Yeah. This is the moment we've been waiting for, so we saved it for last. The offense.
Yep, crack them knuckles, bud. I'm about to go in.
Put the seatbelts on.
To quote the old farmer from Billy Madison, it's poop again. That's what it is. Every preseason game when you look at the Steelers' offensive line. That's all it is.
I was watching the game with Andrew, and like the first 3 or 4 plays, I was like about to write something down in my notes that was positive about Dan Moore. And then he like rambled off like 3 or 4 holds in a row and all this stuff. I was like, Andrew, I was about to write something positive about him because he was playing decent against Aiden Hutchinson, the number 2 overall pick, and Aiden Hutchinson isn't no slouch. I mean, he is a young guy, but it's good to see a below average linemen playing like that up until you start holding them and stuff. So maybe they were letting them get away with something a little bit before that happened, but I don't know. So I was disappointed after that. What about you guys?
I mean, I already rambled and ranted. I have nothing else to say about that side of the line. Chuck's had a hold on the right, whatever. You're going to have that during a game. But Kendrick Green, Kevin Dotson, Dan Moore, one of them needed to step up. Two of them needed to step up this preseason, and I think they all regressed. I mean, it's just an awful side of the offensive line. There's nothing there. If Kendrick Green wasn't a third-round pick, he'd be cut by now. That the only reason he's staying around is because he was a third-round pick last year. He has done zero this preseason.
Yeah. Go ahead, Dan. I know you have something brewing.
Something
Fired up,
brewing down
fired
there.
up, Dan.
I can see it in the
Fired up.
mustache.
Yep.
So
Just
you
wait
bring
one.
in. I turn on the television. I'm watching the game, and they're driving, making nice positive plays. They're gaining yards. That's what you need to do in football. Everyone knows that. Dan Moore had 2 holding penalties on 2 out of the 3 plays that I saw in that sequence. He had 2 holding penalties. So holding, then a decent play, then a holding.
And
So
then a
you
false
get back.
start.
Hold up, because that was Dotson. So you get backed up, and you were in the red zone when that happened. So right off the bat, you're putting your offense in a negative here when you're trying to go score points. And the big thing in the NFL, you don't trade 7 points for 3 points. If you have a chance to score 7, you got a chance to score a touchdown. You don't want any penalties. You don't want a turnover. Worst you can get is 3, sure. But a lot of games are they're not that close. Or they are close. They're decided that if you would have had that touchdown instead of that field goal, you would have won the game. Okay. So then you have 2 holding penalties by Dan Moore, 3 plays apart. Okay. And then you have a nice run by Gunner, and that's the one I was talking about that got negated because it was holding. And then you get down there, and I think they were lining up 2nd and 18, and Dotson false starts. The offensive line is a dumpster fire. It's a train wreck. And something about a train wreck, you look at it, you don't want to, but you can't look away. It is so bad. And that's the side of the offensive line that needs to be the strongest side, because that's the back side. That's the back side. You're going to get the best defensive ends on that side. You're going to have the best defensive tackles on that side, outside linebackers, whatever. The guys that TJ Watt plays on the backside, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Correct. Because he's going up against the best tackles in the league. You don't even have like a practice squad tackle on that side right now. And it is so frustrating when Najee's out there fighting for yards, taking extra hits, showing that second effort for it to be negated. And he doesn't know that. He's putting his nose to the grindstone to get them extra yards, to get that first down. Same with Gunner, whoever. They're doing that, and then you're holding, so it's all negated. Mitch might roll out of the pocket and have a nice pass, or Kenny, whoever. Somebody makes a nice, pass or a nice catch to get a first down, to keep the chains moving. Maybe you're down 3. You need to get in the field goal range. Well, you were holding. It's so tough because, like I said last week, we were blessed for 18 years with an awesome quarterback, a Hall of Fame quarterback, but I don't think we understood how good we had it with an offensive line. Our offensive line was a staple. It just churning out yards, keeping Ben upright, and it's going to be ugly. It's going to get ugly if they're just going to take holding penalties, false starts. I'm surprised they didn't have like an illegal formation. Not enough guys on the line of scrimmage, because who knows if they even know how to line up correctly.
I mean, I was waiting for Dan Moore to get beat so bad he'd be called for being ineligible downfield, because he just looked like he didn't know what. And the fact, like you're talking, like you just said, Dan, the Steelers' offensive line years past, if they even had a semblance of an average offensive line this year, I think they win the AFC North.
Yeah.
Hands down.
Yeah.
I mean, I shouldn't say hands down. Cincinnati's a very good team.
Yeah.
Cincinnati's
I think they're
a good
going to
team,
progress.
but I think, yeah, Cincinnati could. But you know what I mean? They have the weapons on offense. They have a pretty good defense, which we'll get to that. the offensive line, I think if they're even a semblance of average, they're fighting for first place in the AFC North. That's my view on it. You have everything else in place.
Yeah.
Yeah. Roberts, what do you think? Oh, sorry, Dan.
No, go ahead, Ryan. You can say your piece because I'm just going to make one quick point. Go ahead.
Yeah, I think I hope that they realize this is preseason and they maybe step it up, but I just don't think that. I don't see it happening. I don't see it. This is to tune yourself up and make sure it's not practice. It's not hitting the other guy with the same jersey on as you. And they haven't proven it. They have not stepped up. Nobody, even Finnegan's complaining about the team. You know what I mean? Like it's just
Finnegan's disgusting.
It's disgusting. You know what I mean? Like it's not good, man. But I don't know.
Go ahead, Dan.
It's your final dress rehearsal before shit gets real, and right now I'm the only one that's married out of us four, and I took the dress rehearsal at my wedding pretty serious because I didn't know what to expect. You would think that they would take it pretty serious, and it's just it blows my mind that nobody wanted to step up, and it's just you just shake your head because it's going to come down to it that our defense is going to be really good. We'll get into that. Offensive weapons, we have plenty of them. We got a more mobile quarterback. It's going to be that our offensive line wasn't able to either keep our quarterback up or keep the team in the game to the point of being able to run out a clock or something like that. And that's what's going to be very, very hard to swallow because that's going to be the only piece that this team's missing. And it's going to be a few years. And by that time, is Najee still going to be in tip-top shape, or is our receiving core still going to be pretty solid and deep? Is our defense? I mean, Cam's getting old.
Yeah.
Ogunjobi, what they sign him for a year?
Yeah.
Watt, I understand, he's still younger, but the thing is, it takes too long to mold an offensive line. And then even if you want to do it through the draft, it still takes 3 to 4 years. So that piece being the only piece that's missing really, really hurts.
Yeah. Yeah. And I don't think it's that they didn't want to step up. I just think, at this point, I don't think they can step up. I just don't think they're that caliber of player that they can elevate to the next, level that they need to. They are who they are. I give Dan Moore over Kendrick Green. I'll give him a little bit of leeway because he did look solid last year. He had flashes where, all right, he can play left tackle. But Kendrick Green, you're fighting for a job with Kevin Dotson and you're not stepping up. I mean, I just don't think he has it.
Yeah. And like Dan said, you can go out and grab a receiver that's ready to play. You can go out and grab a running back that's pretty much ready to play. You can't an offensive line isn't one player. And even if you get all of them, they have to learn to play together. It's not like you can just throw them in there and say, hey, here you go. Go protect the quarterback, Yeah. It's tough to see. Like, we've never had to worry about that before, really. And it's just it's flipping a switch, too. But I just want to know what happened. That first drive, they looked so good. And I was like, is this what's going to happen? Are they really turning on that switch like Robert said? Like, this is our like final shot before the real season? And then it's just like all of a sudden the floodgates broke. Like that one penalty and it's like everything after that's just so downhill. It was like eating at Taco Bell and holding your cheeks together and just waiting for everything to blow open. Like I did not know what happened. It's just all of a sudden.
I was gonna say it went from 2nd and 2 to 3rd and 27, and in the matter of 4 plays.
Yeah.
Just from the 17 to the what was it? And then Boswell had hit a 56-yarder, or that was the drive that got blocked.
Yard,
yeah, 50. Yeah.
Like it's just.
It's got to take a toll on the other guys too. Like Najee, he's not going to want to put in that extra effort. Same with Gunn,
Najee's a different animal. He will, but the thing is, he's going to take a lot of unnecessary contact for negated plays, for plays that are just going to come back anyway. He's going to put in that second effort, and that's going to deteriorate him. I'm not saying next year he's going to come out in a bag of bones, all crumbled and stuff, but the longevity of the running back. Yeah, and if you're out there showing that fight, but then it gets negated, you're going to be a little pissed off, and rightfully so.
Yeah,
it's good. Wear and tear is going to, accelerate his career. Yeah. It's not gonna be as long as you want it to be. So
I think we might have to move on because we might have a 3-hour show for us just roasting
Just on the offensive line.
tonight.
I was gonna say, I will say we the dumpster fire of the offensive line, but our weekly harassment of somebody on the defensive side might have took a little positivity today.
All right, let's move
Maybe
over to
one
defense
flash,
then.
one flash.
Yeah. All right, let's move over to defense. We'll start with the D line. What do you guys think about the D line? I thought Cam looked good. 2 pass deflections too.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna start on this note. I think I'm all in on Larry Ogunjobi. I think he's have a great season. That's my take.
Defensive line looked good for the majority of the game. I don't think Tyson Alualu played today. If he did, I don't think he did. I saw him in street clothes. I think they might have held him out. But the one player that I was impressed with on the defensive line, DeMarvin Leal, the 3rd round draft pick this year out of Texas A&M, he looked great. Couple tackles for loss, couple deflected passes. I think he has a very bright future ahead. He just needs a little more work, but I think that's going to be an absolute steal of a pick a couple years down the road. But defensive line, I don't have much to say about them because they did their job. There's a couple big runs. Some got called back for holding. Some of them weren't. The defensive line's fault totally. We'll get to that with the linebackers. But no, defensive line looked good. So that's all I'm going to say there. DeMarvin Leal.
Yeah. Dan, go ahead.
Yeah, defensive line did exactly what they were supposed to. They're paid for. Cam getting up there looks like midseason form, getting the paws up there. And that's another thing that you should be taught at a young age. You can't get to the quarterback. Oh well, get them hands up there, and he does. He does all the time. He's always deflecting passes. I'm very excited. Just like the wide receiver core that we have, our defensive line I think is solid, and it's a staple. It's deep too. With even the guys that are going to come in and just give like Cam and Ogunjobi a blow, I think they're going to look fresh through 4 quarters, and they're going to come strong the entire game. I'm excited for that defensive line and hopefully be able to stop the run this year. You're 32nd in stopping the run last year. You can't get any worse. I know it's not all on the defensive line. I understand that, but I was very excited with seeing Cam out there looking good, Ogunjobi looking good in there, just getting the nose in there, taking up 2-3 blocks like they're supposed to, plugging holes like they're supposed to.
Yeah. Robert, what about you?
I just said like the first 4 or 5 drives I saw, like it was 3rd and 2, 3rd and 3, 4th and 1. I felt like it was going to be a stop every time because like it was like the old Steeler teams, you know what I mean? Like stopping the run. I mean, I saw what was it today? They were 32nd in run defense and 29th on the verge of being 30th in offensive running the ball. You got to fix both problems. And
Trenches.
I think I was gonna say I think this year they're gonna take a big step, but it all depends also on the next thing, the next topic we have. So
yeah. But, all right, let's move on. The linebackers.
Licking my chops.
We got one guy saying that Devin Bush he's back. We got.
I wouldn't say he's back, but
I saw one flash where he stopped like a 3rd down conversion. Fourth down. Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah.
That's all I think. What do you guys think?
I mean, he grabbed him by the ankles. Miles Jack was the one that hit him. I mean, he was in there. Great. He was in there. Miles Jack was the one that stopped that. No. Yeah. We saw Devin Bush get caught in the wash how many times today?
Yeah.
Again. Yeah.
Yeah. And I think it was 3rd and 2 I saw, and there's a big wash up at the line of scrimmage. Thankfully, I think Cam got a hold of the running back. And Devin Bush, they panned, and he's back in the secondary. Like, what are you doing? And then they did that play action. They had a play action pass, and a guy coming across the middle, and Cam actually got his hand up and deflected that ball. Yeah. Devin Bush rushed the passer. I don't know if it was the delayed blitz or not, but it's play action. You should be able to read that. And he was just grabbing ankles on that 4th and 1. Great that he was there, but Miles Jack did what a middle linebacker is supposed to do: come up and you fill that hole. If you know what I'm saying, you come up there and you hit somebody, and he stuck him.
Yeah, I mean, overall the inside linebackers wasn't, aside from Miles Jack, I wasn't too impressed. Devin Bush, we got into that. We're closing that down. Bobby Spillane, not a great day, I think, for him either, which leaves some problems because Buddy Johnson has had bad preseason. Mark Robinson, I think, sticking on the roster. Thumper, really excited about him. He sticks his head in there. He wants that contact, get the job done. And I think this may open up, a roster spot for Marcus Allen, even though he's a tweener. I mean, who else do you have there? Because after Miles Jack, honestly, there's no one there that you can definitively say, here's our number 2 linebacker. I don't think there is.
I think Robinson's too green to just throw him out there beside him. But he's going to be a guy, reps guy, third down guy maybe. But they talked about running, a lot of nickel possibly, getting that extra safety out there, which you hate to see. But, if that's what you got to do to negate your weakness, then that's fine.
But now what do you do? Because DeMonte Casey, who, Minka and Terrell Edmonds look great today, and this is going a little ahead of where we want to be. But, talking about nickel, and we want that extra safety. DeMonte Casey left the game, he went for that tackle. He's in an air cast. He's back on the sidelines in a sling. It looked like his wrist snapped like a Kit Kat. I mean, he was going to play a big role in the Pittsburgh defense this year. Under the radar signing, had a great preseason. What do you do now? Trey Norwood's still there, but I think that throws a little bit of a wrinkle because at safety, you have Minka and Terrell. You just signed Elijah Riley from the Jets. Carl Joseph, he's on IR. An injury to DeMonte Casey. Miles Killebrew, he's been hurt all preseason. Suddenly, safety's become a big weak spot for the team, and that may keep like a Marcus Allen, he's the hybrid. He played safety at Penn State. They moved him to linebacker his second year. It's going to be interesting to see who they keep at middle linebacker and now at safety too.
Yeah. And we forgot to mention, though, not to jump topics, TJ Watt, what are they doing there? He showed he's literally top form. He was in the backfield early. And then, scary moment, I thought like maybe he tore his shit or something. I don't know. They said it was a knee injury. But like, what are you still doing in there? Like, come on.
He looked like them dudes you hit on NHL.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Going low, brother. Like, come on, man.
Get him out of there. What was it, the second quarter?
Yeah. And there was only a couple minutes left, right? It was late in the second.
Yeah. Why is he out there? What, you need to see more tape for him?
No.
You need to see more tape of TJ Watt, Mike Tomlin?
Yeah, your defensive
Cam
player
Hayward's still out there.
Yeah.
Hayward's still out there.
See, I understand because it's your last dress rehearsal before the big time. And you want to feel game speed that's not, simulated at practice, and you want to get thumped in between whistles, because even at practice they blow the whistle quick. I can understand that, but you don't need to see it.
If you're a caliber of those two guys,
they're just like Justin Herbert's never played a snap in the preseason for, I was going to say San Diego, for the Chargers. Neither should TJ Watt.
To me, damn it.
Yeah.
No. You should not have your game breaker out there.
That's LaDainian Tomlinson's team.
On the bench.
Phillip Rivers, Tania Gates.
So like on the linebackers, what about corners? I got the Sutton interception down. I mean, I got nothing else other than that, but didn't hear much there.
The last roster spot for corners. I mean, I don't think Justin Lane has a chance. I think it's between James Pierre. I believe Chris Steele was second team today. So he saw some increased reps. Maybe they're, going to be down between him and James Pierre. But like you said, Ryan, corners were solid today. Nothing crazy about that either.
Business as usual. Clock in, clock out. Lunch pail, helmet on. That kind of day. So it's good to hear. You didn't hear much from him, so I mean,
which is good because if you're hearing about corners, normally they're getting burnt. So that's good in my book.
Playground bully.
Yeah.
So here's some question I have for you guys. Outside linebackers, TJ Watt, Alex Highsmith's been dinged up. They cut Jannard Avery last week, who already got picked up by Tampa. Yeah. Are they really like that high on Hamilcar Rashed, that guy they picked up? Or, I don't get what they're trying to do there because Derek Tuska had a pass batted down today. Yeah. He looked good. He had a good special teams tackle. But I don't know what they're doing with depth there either. That's just another, just a minor point. I don't know what they're doing there.
Yeah. I think they're waiting for Anthony Chicklow to come out of retirement or whatever with his braids. Honestly, that's a thin spot too as well. Because and the other thing is with, playing behind TJ Watt, he's going to need a blow. He goes 100% every time he's out there, every down. He doesn't take a play off. So you got to have something. You need something more than what they have behind them. You know what I mean?
Taco Charlton's not walking through that door. What do they do? What are they doing?
You know what I mean? It's tough. It's tough. I don't know. I think they might be high on that guy that they just brought in. I don't know. And how do you cut? What was it?
Jannard Avery, yeah.
Yeah. Instantly picked up, too.
Yeah, so I think they're waiting for someone to get cut here in the final round of cuts, pick up a veteran, but I'm still not encouraged by that depth at outside linebacker.
Not at all.
Yeah.
I think Clay Matthews is going to get cut somewhere or what?
Come off of Pat McAfee's pod, maybe get AJ Hawk.
AJ Hawk.
Yeah. That's all I got on really the defense. We already touched on the safeties. So, I had notes on special teams. Boswell looked all right, other than the, like you said, block kick. Right?
Wasn't his fault.
That's not his fault at all.
Kendrick Green did it. Kendrick Green.
Only other special teams note I had was they did allow a few long returns. But,
yes.
what are you going to do about that? I think it's hit or miss there. So.
Their problem on them returns, they didn't have Derek Watner.
That is
He's
true.
such a staple. You know what I mean?
He's like the mayonnaise
in the
sandwich. He holds it all together.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's no Kieran Fox, if anyone remembers that name, special team stud. But they don't got it.
Since we're talking about special teams thoughts, studs. Who was the stud up there at New England? They'd always he was always on punts. He was on kickoffs too. I can't remember his name.
Matt
he was
Slater? He's like a
Slater. Yeah. Stud. But,
He's still there.
Is he?
Yeah, I think he is.
Mm-hmm.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Yeah, Bill loves that guy. That's all he plays in special teams. That's it. And he's like an all-pro too. He's a stud.
Phenom. Yeah, he's an all-pro every year. Yeah, he's incredible.
They'll kick it to his side and his side only. He's always there. It's awesome.
He's the AC Slater of the NFL, Matthew Slater. I mean, that's the comparison right there. He's an alpha on special teams.
I'll take it.
Yeah. No perm, but it's there.
All right. Final thoughts on the Steelers, Roberts. What do you got? Anybody? I think we touched on everything.
3-0, 3-0 in the old betting world for old Rob. So we're looking good.
Yeah, I mean, I'm excited. Next week, regular season. Wrapping up on the Steelers preseason. We got the Bengals next Sunday at 1:00. So that's gonna be our next big episode drawing. Is that game? It'll be nice to actually talk about the starters for the whole episode. So there'll be a lot there. What are our predictions for that game before we stop talking about the Steelers? I say maybe a loss. Are they at home or away?
Yeah.
It's away.
Away.
At Cincy.
I think it's the first game loss.
Loss.
Okay, let's get a score prediction from everybody.
24-17.
I'm going 31-14. Steelers lose.
I'm going 28-17.
You want the defense to settle in, but Cincinnati is one of the best defenses or offenses in the league. Joe Mixon will be a problem. I think they're contained, but the corners for their first real game action this year, Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, and Tyler Boyd, gonna be tough to stop.
Yeah.
And coupled with how bad the Steelers' offensive line is and the Bengals' defensive line and linebackers, I think taking another step forward this year, I don't see that Steelers coming close week one.
Yeah. Roberts, what'd you say?
I have 31-10.
31-10.
Cincinnati Bengals.
Okay. All right. So what are we putting the line at?
I think it's. Early.
Do they have it up?
I don't know. I'm gonna guess 9.5, maybe.
I'll take a gander.
It's
Let me
rarely
look.
double digits.
6.5.
I don't
they
think
have it. Since you minus 6.5. Okay.
I'm taking
Touchdown.
Cincy 6.5.
6.5.
All right, so are you ready to move on to the weekly trash talk dumpster fire of Pittsburgh?
Quickly.
No.
I will say quickly.
Yeah,
let's just gloss over these.
Let's gloss over. Pirates 1-5 this week, but today they did end their 7-game losing streak. They beat the Phillies.
Yeah.
Absolute wreck though. Go
I'm
ahead.
glad to see they picked up a reliever off waivers who has an ERA of 6.05 this year, so he'll fit in nicely in Pittsburgh.
Right in.
And I love seeing the people carry water for the Pirates. Well, he was pitching in Colorado, which is one of the most hitter-friendly ballparks.
Get out of here.
I don't care. His ERA is 6.05.
Yeah.
Like it does not matter.
Ballpark too, because their fucking balls are on the river.
You see this guy coming into you see Stevenson coming into the game in the 7th inning. Get a kayak and head right out to right field because there's cannonballing coming.
We're sending him out there to go get it. You go get that ball, son, and you can be back in. Remember?
Yeah.
Yeah. So the only other notes I have is Rodolfo Castro is redeeming himself after the cell phone incident. He's hitting pretty well. But also the Pirates social media team's trying to salvage the year by glorifying Cruz's hardest hit baseball in the StatCast era or something. So they're having a tough time there. But
that's the thing with O'Neal Cruz. He's going to be your guy that they're going to try to build around, and he's going to be the guy that they're going to try and sell tickets. He's going to be your show cow. But the thing is, that's as impressive as it is. That doesn't show results. You know what I mean? I mean, great. He hit at 122 point something miles an hour. That's awesome. I was more impressed by the kid down. I think it was in the minors. Hit one into the wall, and it stuck into the wall. And that guy only hit it like 112. But he throws the ball across the diamond at 100 miles an hour. I understand that. I get that. But he threw one into the camera well 2 weeks ago. You never know where it's going to go. I understand with the whole StatCast thing, but it doesn't provide results.
No.
I'm giving him I'm high on O'Neal Cruz still. I mean, Aaron Judge, he was basically the same player Cruz was right now. He has to adjust to major league pitching, and there's no doubt the raw potential's there. Yeah. If he adjusts to it, I think he's gonna be an absolute stud. But right now he's not, and that's just the state of the team. It's a bunch of minor leaguers. As the Phillies broadcast team said. Yeah,
I understand, which is fine. I mean, he's got raw potential. He's got to put it all together. He's not going to get a fastball in the zone. They're going to throw him nothing but sliders out, down and away.
Yeah,
which is you got to either take the walks. There's nothing wrong with taking a walk, or at least identify. You know what I mean? Yeah. Have some.
He's just not disciplined yet.
He's striking out way too much, and don't think that I'm not high on the guy because I am, because he's a freak. Yeah. He's 6'7". He's the way he just effortlessly swings that bat, and as soon as he hits it, it's gone. You know what I mean? Yeah. He hits every time he hits one out of the ballpark. It's a no doubt about it shot. He just needs to settle in, and I understand it takes time. I just want to see Jack Sawinski back up here.
That's what I was about to just say.
He's on his way back.
I don't understand. Like, next year you go in. I mean, we're already writing him off, so we might as well say it. But you have. Arguably, now they're starting to play the young kids today. You know what I mean? I saw it was, 8 out of 9 players, and the only guy in there was Delay, which is...
It's Ronzi Day, too.
Yep, but
happy Ronzi Day.
You got to think. Bly Madris looked good. He's looked good recently. But...
He strikes out a lot, too.
I'm done talking about him. Yeah,
it's going to be the same song and dance the next couple weeks. We're going to talk about them until the season's over. I really do think this year set them back like a year. Because I was like, okay, next year I thought this year they're going to be bad, but they're going to be tolerable, which way they were for a certain amount of time.
A little bit.
And I was like, next year they'll be a little bit more competitive, and then the year after that they'll be good. But I think it's like maybe 3 years from now they'll be any decent, but I don't know. 2025.
Here's something to back that up, Ryan. When I was on my way home, I was on the way to the hospital or on my way home, I can't remember. But they said that they played in 74 one-run games. That was the most in the majors this year. So you're losing one-run games because they didn't win very many. I think they only won like 15 of them. That is something to kind of get excited about, because you're being competitive, but you're also the team that has in the same year lost by 10 runs or more 3 times. Yeah. That's not very enticing, I guess, but for you to be in those games and be competitive in those games and only losing or being in so many one-run games, that is exciting, I guess. You can kind of build around that. You can sell tickets around that, I guess.
Just one. There's a sucker born every minute.
Yeah, it's going to take some time. They just need to get some pitching, get these young kids up there, letting them play. It's just a damn shame that there's a Major League Baseball team in this town and everybody's more excited about preseason football.
Yep, which I'm guilty of that. So
no, me too.
We all
me
are.
Too. Because before they made the playoffs them couple years, for 21 years of my life, they sucked. I was 21 years old. So that just tells you right there that I knew them nothing but the suckos.
Preaching to the choir, buddy. That's all of us. But I think it's going to be the same song and dance. They're going to have one win a week, maybe two. This week coming up, they got the Brewers and Blue Jays. So
yeah, good luck.
They might be lucky to win one. But.
Get down and see Vlad Guerrero, though, because they're Toronto's coming to PNC, right?
Yep. In Manoa.
Yeah. So go check out a winning baseball team in Toronto.
Yep. Your biggest draw is the team you're playing. Literally, the Pirates were advertising when the Braves were in town. We got the World Series Braves. You can't be advertising the other team to draw in, fans. Come on.
But that's what happens when the Yankees come. It's always a sellout. It was this year. When Boston comes, I was mad. I was working, but because I would have went to a Boston game. But when you have to resort to that to sell tickets, it's kind of sad. No, it's not kind of sad. It is sad.
Yeah. But that's all I got on the Buccos.
Thank God.
Once they're good.
All right, we're done with them. Just checking. I'm not wasting my time. I'm not wasting my time with those shitters anymore.
Come on, now. Let's make good points, Motts.
Yeah, you were. I'm not ignoring you. But Pirates talk, Steelers preseason. I don't care about them. I'm not wasting more than a minute of my life on these clowns.
Was it Lewis Lips? Look up Lewis Lips.
Oh, I know Louis Lips. Yeah, former Steelers wide receiver Louis Lips.
No. The pitcher from Oakland.
Dennis Eckersley?
Rolly Fingers.
Fingers, that's it.
All right,
there we go.
Pirate Talk's done.
I'm not the greatest with names, if you guys can't tell.
All right, touching quick on Penn State. We got Purdue this week on Thursday. The line's at 3.5. I think I'm taking that. I think I might bump it up to 7. Touchdown at least. I don't know.
Tease it.
I'm confident.
I'm not touching that game. I think it's a trap game for Penn State, and this is coming from a Penn State fan. I got to see how they look for one game before I start putting some nickels and dimes on the game, if you will.
I like staying optimistic though, so I don't know.
I do too. Yeah. I think they're gonna be solid this year. I just want to see them play one time, see who starts. A Thursday night away game to start the year off. I think they can win, but it's a trap game that I don't want to touch that. I'm just if I'm iffy on it, I'll be honest.
Yeah, same. But we'll move on to Pitt. But I just want to add a note: absolute crime to have Pitt and Penn State playing the opening game same day, same time, pretty much. Absolute crime to Pittsburgh fans, where people watch both teams. So that's all I got to say. Who did that? But Roberts, go ahead. Pitt this week, Thursday. The line's at now 7.5. You called it. Get it before it goes up.
Yep, and I didn't get it. I didn't listen to my own words. I waited.
Jeez.
I was gonna wait, but I still have faith in the boys. I think like I said, I think the game's close for a couple quarters, and then I think Nardizzi pulls away. I think they put it on him too. I don't think they ease off either.
Statement game.
Yeah, and like I was saying earlier, Keaton Slovis announced as your starter. Am I all behind that? I don't know.
You're Nick Patty guy. Don't try and deny.
A lot of people I have seen though, like a lot of people are backing Nick Patty, which I don't know. Which is crazy. But the thing that I'm more worried about is Slovis looking at it like I got to go out and do what Kenny did last year, and he's always going to get compared to this year. Is like, what did Kenny do? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
What did he need to just be himself? And I hope the students and I hope the fans realize that Kenny's in a different locker room, and you got to start realizing what's on the field. So, but I think it's a different type of team this year. I think it's a lot of experience came back, and I think it's going to be good. But I do have an early one. I do see that the Pitt Panthers are underdogs at home in week 2.
Is it Tennessee?
Tennessee. Which, as a betting man myself, I will be putting a lot of money on that game, boys. So if you guys want to get it early, I would get it early now. It's at 4.5. I saw before we started the episode. They're getting 4.5 at home.
Wow.
To an unranked Tennessee team.
Oh, wow.
Didn't Desmond Howard pick Pitt?
Desmond Howard also did say they have
in his Final Four.
Did you see that Final Four though? It was a little sketchy.
I understand that
because
you don't want
Did he have A&M?
Yep, A&M. Yep.
Baylor was
Michigan. Baylor, Michigan, Pitt, and A&M.
See, you don't want the same run of the mill four that you always have at Ohio State, Notre Dame, Alabama, Georgia, whoever.
You can't become a meme though. freezing cold takes.
Yeah,
He'd be all over that.
Maybe his strategy might be you throw shit at a wall, something will stick. So maybe like A&M or someone will sneak in. He'll be saying, "I told you so. I told you so."
I don't know. A&M with Jimbo Fisher down there recruiting really well. So and he always gives Alabama and Nick Saban their number one. You know what I mean? He always gives them their best. So anything can happen, especially when the SEC starts eating itself, and then you only have one SEC team in there. You know, whoever wins
and
the
ACC is not like one team could win it. I mean, Pitt could win it, Clemson could win it. You know, so Pitt could sneak in, say they have a great season. Yeah, you know, win the ACC again.
It could be that one time. No, never. No.
Don't even get me started, because last night, I mean, I just saw, watching a game. I'm investing in the ACC this year, and the publicity they're getting for beating a team, Florida A&M, which the spot was.
That game was almost not played.
Yeah, because all them kids they couldn't play. They were ineligible.
Yeah.
And they're saying this kid is looking like a superstar. Like, stop it.
All I'm saying is I saw a tweet last night from somebody. I don't know if he listens to this, but if he does, he'll know who I'm talking about. He said something about I think he said their coach give him a blank check because he got Sam Howell and now this guy blah 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 blah. The dude threw a duck on the run because they're comparing him to Patrick Mahomes. Almost short-armed it into the ground. And then the other thing is you played Florida A&M.
Yeah, Florida A&M.
They're not even D1 AA.
No.
You know, that's like the Leechburg high school football team, the varsity team, playing KVL Knights. Yeah. Like, come on now. Like, you're so high on it. Like, get out. I don't even want to see it. It's disgusting. You get so high on your teams. Like, why don't they play a real team, in their opener, like a Pitt does, Pitt would play Penn State for a few years. Now Pitt's playing in the backyard brawl again. Love to see it. But then you have two non-conference Titans is what they're calling them. Big games against two tough non-conference teams, but you're out there playing, the poor team of the blind or whatever, just like Alabama does. They're playing.
I was going to say 6 of their games, I think, this year, besides the non-conference, is all D2 schools, pretty much.
Alabama does the same thing.
Like, those teams get a bag, though. So all
I understand. I understand that, but you're really going to be up. I wish them teams would come to play like App State did to Michigan years ago and upset one of these big schools. Well, they think they're just going to come out here and walk all over us, and we're just going to take the money and run. No, we're going to run through them. It'll never happen, but that one time it does, I'll love it.
Oh yeah, everyone love to see it. You pay a team $500K to come and then beat you at your home field.
Happened last year.
Yeah.
Texas. Yeah. You paid $1.5 million to the team that came to Texas and they lost.
I don't remember that.
Yeah.
Was it football?
Last year.
Last one I remember is App State doing it to Michigan.
It's happened Texas. A couple times. Yeah.
Since.
Yeah.
I don't know.
That's all I got. Pitt and Penn State both play Thursday night. Who starts at 7? I think Penn State 7. Pitt 8.
Pitt starts at 7. Penn State's 8 o'clock.
We'll get 2 TVs rolling, so get dual screen action. But that's all I got on college football. We got our. What about you guys? Are you guys done with college football?
Yeah, I'm done.
Yeah, nothing left. We'll talk about those games next week.
Yep.
We got our segments now. Idiot of the week. Who do we got? Who wants to go first? I don't got it.
Dan, would you like to start, Dan? You want me to go?
Go ahead.
You take your pick.
You go ahead.
All right. So this one's more of a blanket statement that was brought on by a former unnamed idiot of the week, but it's just a blank. It's just a blank statement. No one in particular. People who get their steak well done. If you want a steak well done, you take the bottom of your shoe, you fry that up, put it on your plate. There's no place that should be a crime. And I'm not someone who likes it rare. Still new, and I'll be honest, but you got to have a little bit of the juices in there. You got to have a little bit of the pink in there. Well done does nothing, absolutely nothing. And the only thing that's worse, you put ketchup on it. Because there's people out there that do it.
Yeah,
that's a sin.
There are though. There's got to be people. There's people out there who do that. Well done with ketchup.
That aren't kids. That aren't kids.
No, that's
adults.
Because that
They
is a
have a
child.
9 to 5.
That is a child's
Yes.
taste bud. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's,
Immature
Even
taste buds.
that's what it is.
Oh, we're hearing that one tonight.
That's chicken tenders at an Italian restaurant kind of.
Or no, that's
what
not
it
even
is.
tenders. That's Dino Nugget energy right there.
Yeah.
That's Dino Nugget curly fries right there.
That's fair.
But-
So yeah, people get their steak well done. My nomination. Dan, the floor is yours.
All right, so I was driving home yesterday from the mall, Pittsburgh Mills. I know it's not much of a mall anymore. Anywho, 356 is still closed, right? So I'm on 56 coming up to White Cloud Road, the shortcut there, And this car comes down off White Cloud Road, and he's good ways in front of me. I'm probably where the driving range is. He's where the bonfire is. I'm like, okay. So I start following this car down the hill, and then past Stanford's and stuff. And then I start coming down Leechburg Hill, and I'm pretty close behind this car now. And I realize who it is. And I'm like, God damn it. So he gets down to the bottom of the hill and gets to the bridge, puts his car in neutral and goes, I'm like, what? I have some choice words for him, and I'm not going to say them. So there's a big white truck that I saw, like, just in front of us. And they always park behind my house. So I was like, he's got to back that thing in. It's pretty big. I'll just go up. So I follow this person up First Street, and he just romps like, Rio, I'm talking to you, bud. You are the idiot of the week, all right? You have a automatic vehicle. You can't neutral drop it, bud. It's not a 5-speed. It's not a 6-speed.
So what you're saying, Dan, is that you don't support the booty and pizza sticker on the back of this car?
I don't. I mean, you want to act like you're like going to car shows and stuff. That's fine, but don't drive. And I don't need to hear that piece of shit. And my wife Amanda goes, how do you listen to music when your car's that loud? I was like, you don't. I'm like, you're just dumb. You're an idiot. You are an idiot.
Out of the people that we know, he's the Charlie Kelly. He could seamlessly fit in as a character on It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. Like that's what I'm coming to realize.
Yeah.
The comedy of errors that he has week by week, which, and let's not get it wrong, he loves being nominated. He loves winning this award. He wears that. He wears it as a badge of pride, basically.
Now.
Yeah, he's gonna be a 3-time champion, which we may have to get some sort of medal, a shirt, a trinket. I don't know, but
I'll get him a 5-foot trophy.
We need to
It's
have
just a comedy of errors
show where we present something to him at a Buffalo Wild Wings or something and give him a trophy. Honestly,
like the Dundee.
Yeah.
In the office.
The Dundies.
But here's the thing, and people might be thinking I'm joking or making this up. I'll call my wife down. You can ask her. We can have Ryan.
I can go get a test.
Yell out the window. Go yell out the window. Go yell out the window, because I'm not kidding. I was like, what are you doing? Because I think he realized who was behind him, and if he didn't, that's even bigger, in your office.
Oh, yeah, that's even worse.
Worse. You're just driving like a Jag because you're a Jag. So that's my idiot of the week.
Roberts, you got any?
One last statement I have is we always make the comparison. I think when one day when he gets his brain examined, you're just gonna see two monkeys slamming cymbals together. That's what goes on in his head. I don't know what goes on in his head, but God bless the kid. He means well. Just I don't know.
He might be part fish. He's got smooth brain.
He's got something.
His smooth brain. There's no wrinkles there, so he's not intelligent. There it is.
I love the memes he creates, though. He does create memes.
He's a walking meme.
His biggest worry too is becoming a meme. He does not want to become a meme, but he steps foot outside his house every day. There's at least a 72% chance he's gonna be a meme somewhere in the world, somewhere around here. There's just people that happens to, and he's the one, and it's become such a great segment because it's just week after week he's up to something.
Sooner or later, we might just have to call it the Rio of the week, and not even idiot of the week. It's just gonna be the Rio
award after him.
Yeah,
we may not be able to nominate him.
He's putting up Wilt Chamberlain numbers right now.
Yeah.
He's getting the reverse helmet stickers right now, boys.
Ryan, you're gonna have to our next meme request. What's that? Is that the Wilt Chamberlain meme where he has the chalkboard with how many points 100? He scored? You're gonna have to put Rio with his number each week.
Just put Rio's head on that picture.
Yeah,
you're gonna have to expand the picture, but it's all right.
He'll go once he hits 100 though. Like it will happen. So we'll have to do that. But that's it of the week. We'll get the poll up. Who won last week? I think Rio won last week too. The Euro Step won.
Yeah, the Euro Step won.
He was a lock.
Two-timer. He's a two-timer. There's a three-timer now. I can't even count.
Okay, I can tell you right now, if I'm a betting man, Rio's at minus 2,500 right now to win this one.
Yeah.
He's the favorite.
You ain't even making money at this point. Whenever you.
They're not even putting a money line bet up for the kids, honestly.
All right, so we'll get that poll up. All right, let's move on. Dan, I know you want to go first.
I do.
We got our Pittsburgh Random Athlete of the Week. Do you not want yours stolen, or
I don't, and I have this weird feeling after Mott's hit me with Kimo Van Olhoffen last week that mine might be stolen, with it being the lead up. It's the week of the Backyard Brawl. I was going to go with a Pitt football player. And like I've said before, I just want some outlandish names. So I'm going to go with Horatio Benedict Blades, also known as HB Blades.
Blades. Oh, that's a good one.
Played linebacker for a few years at Pitt, and I remember seeing him play live. Shout out to Jimmy Dunn, who always taking me to games, and just seeing him run out. I remember his senior farewell game. He come out just fired up, taped head to toe, and I just wanted to pick him because I remember your buddy last week said Tyler Palco, and Tyler Palco played when Horatio Benedict Blades. I didn't know that was his full name. I'm not going to lie. I just know him as HB Blades. So I actually had to look that up. I was like, wonder what that stands for, and I looked it up.
That's awesome.
Great name.
You've been talking that up all week too, so I was nervous. You said you better either come with a throwaway or come with one that's going to steal that. And I knew whenever the wheels are turning there, I was like, it's going to have to be a throwaway week for me. I was like, Dan has something up his sleeve that I know I can't top. You ran away with it last week with Chris Fumatu Mafala. I was worried. I was rightfully worried.
All right. Who wants to go next?
All right, Drew. Since you think this is a throwaway, go ahead, man. Throw yours out there.
I mean, the throwaway, he was here in Pittsburgh for a short time, but it was a memorable time. An insane player on the ice, Steve Downey, is my random Pittsburgh Athlete of the Week. Yeah, it's a little bit of a throwaway, but the dude was nuts. He loved watching him play
Tasmanian devil. Yeah.
Yeah, you never know if he was going to board somebody or stab him with his skate. I mean, that's the kind of guy you want to watch.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he was a goal scorer too. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So Steve Downey.
Yeah. Robert Smiria.
I'll go this one. We said this week. It was little chirps. We said it. I was gonna go Ronnie Paulino. We said it last week in the thing, but I'm gonna go with a lot of people's maybe preemptive favorite center fielder for the Pittsburgh Pirates, and Niger Morgan before Andrew McCutchen.
I was more of a Nate McLeod fan myself.
Yes, but everybody he was swaggy. Everybody liked his personality and everything. But my guy is Niger Morgan.
After Ryan goes too, I got my runner up because it ties in with Niger Morgan too. So
all right, I got two. Which one should I go with? The hockey Penguins one or the Pirates one?
Go Penguins.
Penguins.
Go Penguins.
All right, so do you guys want to guess it? You want me to give you a little story, and then I'll give you the harder one. I'll give you it'll get easier as I go. All right, so this is a Penguin from, let's say, late 2000s.
George LaRock.
Oh, fuck, you got it.
George's
LaRock. A lot harder.
Oh, man, I'm so talented.
So it is George LaRock?
Yeah. So anyway, I was going to say, hockey player turned figure skater.
Yeah.
But he was brought in to absolutely whip ass. So where does that, what happens there? You become a figure skater after that.
Nicest man ever. He was actually, Canada has not Dancing with the Stars. They have Skating with the Stars. It's called, I can't remember what it's called. And he actually dropped that chick. Did you ever see the video? They're doing stuff.
Pile driver.
And he spins her or something, goes to catch her, and boom, right on her head. Just pile drives her. I'm like, whoa, it was nuts.
You can't get that NHL instinct out of your body. You have someone up like that. You have to drop them on the ice. Yeah. And George's LaRock is awesome because I don't know if you guys remember, they had a span of just goons back then as enforcers.
Donald Brashear,
Yeah, he wasn't, but yeah, they had that was the heyday. my favorite Penguins enforcer, Goddard's off the bench.
Oh,
The Islanders
jeez.
game.
What about Derek
Elvis
England?
broke loose.
Derek
England was a
he
good
wasn't
one,
much
too.
of a goon, though. I wouldn't consider him. He was
was
knocking people out, but his first NHL fight, he didn't have any experience fighting before that. You know what I mean? Whenever you bring in a guy like George LaRocque to just do that, that's it. You're going to play the fourth line 3 minutes a night, and you're just going to go beat somebody up. That's it.
Like you're getting called out just for that.
Oh yeah, first game he popped Colton Orr, knocked him. He almost knocked him out. I mean, he took him to the ice with one punch. I mean, he was getting beat kind of bad. He hung in there, and everyone was saying, "Oh, he's undersized." He came out of nowhere, clocked Colton Orr, and Colton Orr looked like he just got flashbanged on Verdansk or something. I mean, he was just laying on the ice, didn't know where he was.
I always like seeing.
I remember that.
Matthew Barnaby in the corner, like Ric Flair, just screaming while he's throwing. Whoa! Like
who's the other guy? Who's the other pest we had? Yarko Ruutu.
Oh.
He was a pest.
Ruutu was.
Yeah.
he put somebody to sleep. Saw it happen.
Aaron
wasn't much.
Aaron Ashton killed the guy.
That's iconic.
He fought two guys at once. He didn't care.
You know who the toughest guy to ever put a Penguin sweater on, though, was in the 2000s? Scary Gary Roberts.
Oh, yeah.
Hands down.
Yeah.
I remember him trying to fight the whole Ottawa Senators team at one point. He was up against the boards. I think he had 3 in one hand, 2 in the other, and he was just asking who wanted the next punch. It was nothing behind the eyes either, just no emotion. How do you fight a guy like that?
You don't, because he's got that pent up rabid Wolverine.
Mm-hmm.
If you know what I mean. You know, he's looking to hurt somebody.
As we
Scary
said,
Gary.
Dan's got the dog. That guy was a dog.
He was.
He was a dog, though.
He was a chained up dog.
He was.
No,
he
was a dog
he got
that
off that
the
leash.
chain. Yeah.
He got
He
off
was
the
finding
leash.
a family of 4 after that. Yeah.
Yes.
But,
That's Random Athlete of the Week. We'll have the poll up probably tomorrow or Tuesday. I don't know. 1 poll a day. So we'll probably do Idiot of the Week tomorrow and then the other one Tuesday. But final thoughts. Remember to send us an inquiry about our 2 spots left in our fantasy football league.
and some suggestions.
Yeah.
We have to have our vote for the punishment before the league starts, so everyone's on the same page too, right?
What
So
was that?
do we want to talk about that for a little bit?
We're about an hour and a half in.
Or should we just leave it on Twitter? We'll put the options
Leave it
on Twitter.
Put it
on Twitter. Yeah.
We'll decide,
Yeah.
decide privately of the 4 options.
Yeah.
All right. But it is a punishment league, so you will be getting punished, or one of us will be getting punished.
Yeah.
Other than that, what do you guys got? Final thoughts?
Nothing. Just going to run some Warzone later. Looking to do that. Got Gary Patterson, more wins than Brandon Bishnell, so excited about that. We're just going to add to that. And I do have to be honest with you guys. I appreciate you guys having me on here every week. I love it. I look forward to it. My son was actually looking forward to it. He just wants to see the next episode. He kept telling me, podcast number 6. I want to see number 6. So I do appreciate you guys having me on here. It is a blast every week.
It's just bedtime. Well, it might be up by the time he goes to bed, or no?
No, he'll be going to bed here in about 10 minutes.
It's all right. I'll see you tomorrow.
Dan, I have one request for you before we go. I need you to plug your Twitch. I need you to plug your Twitch right now.
Plug my Twitch?
Plug the Twitch.
All right. Call Couch at twitch.tv.com. You can see me there. I will be live streaming right after this is over. Oh, well, you guys won't hear it till later, but I will be live, and then I'm live every other Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and then every Friday, Saturday, Sunday, about 8:30. So I'd appreciate it if you guys stop in, show me some love.
All right.
Yeah,
Robert's
hit this
final
man with a
thoughts?
follow. You won't regret it.
Yeah.
Any other thoughts?
Rob?
I will see you guys on whenever we record next. I probably will
If
be
you're
recovering. Yeah, I probably will be recovering after a lot of beverages being drank.
If you're not roommates with the Nightmare Vasquez at the county.
Yep. So
All right.
that's it.
Well, final thoughts. Let's go Lurs. Let's go Penn State. Let's go Pitt. We'll have a breakdown of all those next week. Thank you guys for listening. This is episode 6. Episode 7. See you guys next time. Thank you for listening. Like, follow, subscribe. Whatever else. See you guys next week.